ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hरि Om, salutations to all. So the Shiva Purana shlokas about the 12 Jyotirlingas, Saurashtre Somanatham cha, Sri Shaile Mallikarjunam, Ujjayinyam Mahakalam, Omkare Parameshwaram. Then Kedaram Himavat Prishthe, Dakinyam Bhima Shankaram. Varanasyam cha Vishvesham, Triambakam Gautami Tate. Varanasyam cha Vishvesham. So Bhagawan Kashi Vishwanath is in Bhagawan Vishwanath is in Kashi or in Varanasi. So Varanasyam cha Vishvesham. So here this beautiful story. So Kashi is most sacred. It is the Mokshapuri. Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika, Puri, Dwaravati chaiva, Saptaita, Mokshadaikaha. So 7 Puris or cities considered most sacred in our Sanatana Dharma. They are Moksha Puris, one attains Mukti there. Darshana Bhagavan, Sadhana, dropping the body there. So many things are sacred about all these important places. And in that Ayodhya, Mathura, Ayodhya is the birthplace of Bhagavan, Sri Ramji. Mathura is Krishna Bhagavan's Janma Bhumi. Maya is Haridwar. Then Kashi, where Kashi Vishwanath Bhagavan, who lives there permanently. It is called Avimukta Kshetra, meaning Bhagavan will never leave Kashi. We will see all that significance why it is said. Then Kanchi, so Kanchipuram. Then Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika, Ujjain. We saw about Mahakaleshwar, that time we saw the 7 Puris also. And Puri Dwaravati is Dwaraka. So Kashi, one of the most important pilgrim centers, the place of knowledge, learning. Kash also means to shine, Kashate. So one shines in one's true nature. The knowledge, it's a place of knowledge. It's not a place of enjoyment, entertainment. It is a sacred place where one goes to gain knowledge, learn about who am I, and the ultimate knowledge is knowledge of the self. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. Bhagavan says that is the Vibhuti of Bhagavan. It is a spiritual knowledge. But Kashi is known for knowledge in various other fields also. Even great people like Shankaracharya etc. visit Kashi and they stay there, write commentaries. Bhaja Govindam, Manisha Panchakam, many of those things have been written there. So a very important place, and Bhagavan Jyotirlinga is there. So the shloka here is सानन्दमानन्दवने वसन्तम् आनन्दकन्दं हतपापवृन्दं वाराणसीनाथमनाथनाथं श्रीविश्वनाथं शरणं प्रपद्ये. So I take refuge of Bhagawan Vishwanath. Who is he? Sanandam Anandavane Vasantam. With lot of bliss, one who lives in Anandavana. So Kashi is also called Anandavan. Kashi, Varanasi, Anandavan, Avimukta Kshetra, Mokshapuri, uh, Nitya Smashan, like that. There are a lot of names of Kashi. So Anandavana, because when one shines in true glory, that our true nature is bliss. Sachidananda Swarup Atma is our bliss, our nature. So one who stays there in Anandapuri, in Anandavan, and who himself is of the nature of bliss, Ananda Kandam, Hatha Papa Vrindam, who destroys hosts of sins. Bhagavan is not only the destroyer of the Srishti, but he is also the destroyer of negativities. Hatha Papa Vrindam, the sinful tendencies, because of which one gets lower births, because of which one goes through difficulties, sorrows. Bhagavan destroys. Varanasi Natham, he is the Lord of Varanasi. Anathanatham, the Lord of anyone who feels lonely, orphaned, helpless. Bhagavan is the Lord of all, so there is nobody anath actually. Shri Vishwanatham Sharanam Prapadye, that is Vishwanath Bhagavan, I take his refuge. So now this is in the Stotram, it is seventh in number. And Kashi Vishwanath now, all of us know in Uttar Pradesh, Kashi Vishwanath. So how did Bhagavan manifest there? So the description in the Shiva Purana is Koti Rudra Samhita has this description that infinite truth, pure consciousness, Brahman in absolute nature is non-dual. There is no Srishti, there is no Jagat, so there is no Ishvara, there is no Jiva, nothing. Absolute non-dual truth. And that is changeless, birthless, deathless, changeless. So the fact is that alone is, that is the truth. But we see the world which is continuously changing. From where did this world come? If the truth is infinite, there cannot be anything outside the truth other than the truth from where the Srishti can come. And the truth by itself is changeless also. So then how is it possible that the changeless can even produce anything? Because any production means change. What was not there now has come into being. So the Siddhant in Vedanta is without undergoing any modification, the changeless appears as the changing. The changeless has not become changing. The changeless is not producing something which is changing. It is not modified into becoming anything changing. It is only appearing. It's a vivarta. Like without undergoing any change, the waker is lying on the bed, but there is an appearance of the whole dream world. So that non-dual truth, now how did it appear? The changeless, how did it appear as the changing? Please remember, this is a secondary explanation. Not secondary, I should say. It is a second level explanation. First level, the highest understanding is there is Brahman alone. As long as I identify with the body, I will keep seeing change. So I will question from where this world came. The world will be real. Who is the creator? How did he create? What is the process? All those are intellectual questions because I identified with the body, with the jiva. In deep sleep, buddhi is dormant. I am not aware of the BMI. There is no experience of duality because the BMI has become unmanifest. But that's not the highest state because there is ignorance. I don't know who am I. The moment I wake up, again all these questions will start. So the scripture gives a certain answer. In different Upanishads, there will be different reasons which are given and different so-called processes of how the creation appears. But that's why we should remember the fact is this creation is not there from the highest standpoint. From waker standpoint, if you think is the dream even really there, it is not there. But it appears. And it appears so real sometimes. One wakes up sometimes with a stall, sweating, panting, palpitating. Then few minutes even realizes, oh, it was only a dream. Some tiger is chasing and then is going to has jumped on you and is going to kill you and then you wake up. Some dreams like that sometimes appear very real. So as long as one is in the dream, it appears very real, but the fact is it does not exist. Same way, hard to believe many times that this whole Srishti is not there. It is only an illusory projection. It's there appearing. If we see it, then it is a projection. Why will we see? Because we are identified with the BMI. The whole sadhana is to withdraw from this false identification, drop it to realize, Arey, my nature is truth. That is Kashi. To shine in one's true glory where one experiences non-duality. Kashi is that place which will help one to experience non-dual nature. And the purpose of all knowledge is that Kashi, when we say it is a place of learning, scholarliness, knowledge, all knowledge, if it does not lead me to know who am I and release me from the bondage of the finite, no use of that knowledge. Maximum one can earn some living. But beyond that, what will happen? And hence, the absolute truth, without going through any change, appears as the changing. So then how does it appear? So there are various processes which can be explained. So one of them which comes in the Upanishad also, Ekoham Bahusyama, I am one, may I become many. So like that, there was the thought in that infinite non-dual Brahman. So there was a desire that may I become many. And so from that non-dual Brahman, using the power of Maya, comes Ishvara. And that Ishvara here is called Shiva. Please remember, non-dual Brahman also is Shiva only, is pure consciousness. That non-dual Brahman using the power of Maya becomes Ishvara, the creator. Waking the waker, invoking the power of dreaming, becomes the dream creator. The power of dreaming will veil the waker on one hand and project the dream on the other hand. Same way, this Maya will veil Brahman on one hand and the changeless on one hand and then project that changeless as the changing. That's the power of Maya. Aghatita ghatina patiyasi Maya. Shankaracharya says in Maya Panchakam. That which has never happened, this Maya is an expert in making us feel that it has happened. Aghatita ghatana. Actually, it has not happened. But it makes it appear that it has really happened. Patiyasi Maya. Maya is an expert in that. Like the rope never becomes the snake, but that rope will appear as the snake. But and when it appears as the snake, it appears so real, and then as though it has bit a person, and then the person feels, oh, the poison, now I'm going to die, and all psychological brooding will start. Same way, this Maya makes it appear like that. So this Sagun Sakar Roop is Shiva. And this Shiva alone becomes Purusha and Stri. male and female. And so this male and female is then called Shiva and Shakti. This is all given as it is in Shiva Puran. You can go and see Koti Rudra Samhita. Uh, so Shiva and Shakti. Now, the Shiva and Shakti, they become unmanifest. This infinite Brahman appears as the creator. Now creator has appeared as Shiva and Shakti. But now Shiva and Shakti become unmanifest and they create uh, two sentient entities called Prakriti and Purusha. Now, please remember this Prakriti and Purusha is not infinite Brahman and its power Maya. How we use sometimes Prakriti and Purusha in Sankhya also, even in Vedanta, Prakriti and Purusha. It is not that. This is the gender wise, Prakriti and Purusha. So this Purusha here is considered Vishnu and Prakriti is a consort. So Shivji as though creates now Vishnu Bhagavan. So this Prakriti and Purusha, so this in the Shiva Puran first it will be mentioned as Prakriti and Purusha and then later on the same Purusha is called as Vishnu, Hari. So we will come to that, but right now I'm just explaining so that you understand. Otherwise, Prakriti and Purusha is confusing with other concepts of Purusha is consciousness, Prakriti is the Jada, inert Vastu, all that. So it is Vishnu Bhagavan who has been created now, and now they have to populate the world, mean create the Srishti. So both of them are there, and then they wonder there is nobody around, and they had a doubt that what has to be done. So they hear when Akashvani happens, and it says that you both have to do tapasya, and through you this Srishti will expand. So both of them, they say Purusha and Prakriti, Vishnu and his Shakti, they say that there is no place to do tapasya. Where do we go? What do we do? There is nothing. And so that infinite consciousness, the Shiva, the Ishvara, the creator, Shiva, creates this beautiful place uh, which is his own Swarupa. Most auspicious and beautiful city is created, which is his own Swarupa. And that city has everything required for basic living, and tapasya has to be done. So, that city, when it is created, that city is sent by Bhagavan Shiva to Hari. And now it is in the there's no earth, none of that has got created as yet. It is only in the, we can say there's the first, that's why it is said there's the first city in the world. This Nagar has been created and it is in the space near Hari, it has come now. So Purusha and Prakriti, they start staying there. Here Shiva Puran mentions Hari. So now पुरुष, तब पुरुष श्री हरि ने उस नगर में स्थित होकर सृष्टि की कामना से शिव का ध्यान करते हुए बहुत वर्षों तक तपस्या की. So now Shiva Puran mentions Hari, that Purusha is Hari, and that Hari stays there and does tapasya of Bhagavan Shiva. And at that time, because tap literally means to burn, so when one does tapasya, heat will be generated. So there's a lot of heat, and there is water that is created because of that, and many uh, we can say, what do we call that? Streams of water. They manifest. And so this whole Akash, as though is pervaded by this water, and one is not able to see clearly. Like when the vision gets how, because of the rains, etc., sometimes we can't see clearly like that. So the water is pervading, and one was not able to see anything. And so Hari, in his mind, he thought that this tapasya, what it has done, and what a wondrous thing has happened, that nothing is visible as of now. Um, and he shook his head because he's trying to see. And in that, when he shook his head, one uh, earring which has diamond, or whatever you call it, money is some precious stone. So when he shook his head, one precious stone from his earrings that fell on the ground. That place is called Manikarnika. uh, so that became a Tirthasthan. And now the water is so much all around that this particular city was getting flooded, getting drowned. That time, Shiva, Nirguna Shiva, who is in the unmanifest form, takes the Trishul and lifts the city up above the streams of water. And so that's why it is said, uh, Kashi is on the Trishul of Bhagavan Shiva, because he lifted it out, and then it is on that Trishul, and then Vishnu Bhagavan with his Shakti is there. So the Shiv Puran says here that विष्णु अपनी पत्नी प्रकृति के साथ वहीं पर सोए, and then from there, so that place, it was getting flooded, drowned. Bhagavan lifts it up. Vishnu Bhagavan with his prakriti is now reclining there, and from his nabhi comes out the lotus, and then Brahmaji is uh, born from there. And so once, and all this has happened by the blessings of Bhagavan Shiva. Vishnu Bhagavan was meditating on Shivji. And so now this Kashi has been created, Vishnu Bhagavan is there, and then Brahmaji has come out from the lotus which came from his Nabhi. And then Brahmaji further creates this entire creation, Manasa Srishti, and then 14 worlds above and below. I mean, totally 14 worlds, 7 above, 7 below, all that. So Brahmanda is created. And Brahmaji creates Maharshis and Manu, and this whole Srishti happens. Now, here it is said 50 crore yojan. So 50 crore yojan. One yojan is 8 miles. Now you calculate. They say that that is the expanse of the Srishti. Now, I don't know how much it matches with the description in science, but there is a description in the Purana. Now, Bhagavan Shiva thought that Srishti has been created, Jivas are created, and the Jivas have desires, they are going through cycle of birth and death. How will they get mukti? And so this Kashi that was created, Bhagavan brought that Kashi onto the earth. So the first city which was created even before any other thing got created is Kashi, which was on the Trishul of Shivji, and now that Kashi came onto the earth. Don't think in terms of science, कि ऐसा कोई hanging it was somewhere and then it came down to the earth. How is it possible? It will get destroyed and all that. It is Sankalpa Bhagavan, or everything happens, whatever happens. We have to take the bhav. So when this Kashi comes onto the earth, then Shiva, who is Ishvara, tells Bhagavan Vishnu that this, it is Panchakroshi, it is five koshas. Uh, Panchakroshi kosha is what is the length of it. Now that Kashi, he says that this Kashi will be most uh, auspicious, it will bless the jivas, it will destroy the karma bandhan of the jivas. How? By giving knowledge. And the only way to get out of karma bandhan is to gain the knowledge of the truth. That I am akarta, abhokta, I am not the doer, I am not the jiva, that, and I am one with that infinite consciousness. There is only one truth. That knowledge of the absolute is the only way to get out of karma cycle. Because any other thing we do, it will be finite, it will create new karmas. However great any karma may be, the result will be finite. That finite result will leave an impression in the mind which will further make us desire, think, and act. So this cycle of karma will go on. So using karma, we can't get out of karma bandhan. Only jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. The spark of fire will destroy even huge haystack like that. Yathaidhamsi samidhogni bhasmasat kurute yatha. Just like that. The small spark of fire, huge haystack will be burnt. In that way, the spark of self-knowledge and massive sanchit karma, what we have accumulated, burnt. Actually, that is the ash that Bhagavan applies on the forehead. 3 lines. One of the symbolisms of 3 lines is sanchit karma, prarabdha karma, agami karma, all karmas are burnt. Why? Because I am not the karta only. 3 bodies, gross body, subtle body, causal body. 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. 3 states, waking, dream, deep sleep. All that identification with all that is burnt, and then that is a bhasma one applies with Tripundra. So Bhagavan Shivji, Ishvara in this context, tells Bhagavan Vishnu that this is the significance of Kashi, that people who come here will be freed from karma bandhan with the right knowledge. And Kashi is Jnana Datri, so it is a place of knowledge, and it will grant liberation. Hence, he says that this is very, very dear to me, and here Bhagavan himself is there in the form of the Linga. Bhagavan only established the Linga, appears as the Linga. And so he says that, O Hari, who are you, who are my Amsha, you should also never leave Kashi. So not only Shivji doesn't leave Kashi, he tells Vishnu Bhagavan also that don't leave Kashi, because this is the place which will grant mukti to all the jivas. And knowledge, it is a place of knowledge. So uh, now having said this, Kashi has come down. From the Trishul, Bhagavan places it down. Because sometimes people wonder, how is Kashi on the Trishul of Bhagavan? It is on the earth. So it was on the Trishul of Bhagavan, then now it is on the earth, and every time pralay happens. So when Brahmaji's one day is over, then the whole Srishti will become unmanifest. Brahmaji is sleeping, just like when we sleep, everything becomes unmanifest in us. Then again we wake up, everything again appears. Same way, one day of Brahmaji is 1,000 Chaturyugis. One cycle of Chaturyugi is 43,20,000 years. 4.3 million years is one Chaturyugi. Like that, 1,000 Chaturyugis, when they are done, Brahmaji is sleeping. So the whole Srishti goes into Pralay. At that time again, Bhagavan Vishwanath holds this on his Trishul. So that's what is said here. And hence Kashi is indestructible. That's the understanding. And when again the Srishti begins, again Bhagavan establishes it on the earth. So all this is Shraddha what one has to have and have the understanding. The important point is if one understands that Kashi is a place of knowledge, and what is the knowledge that I must get? The knowledge which will help me to shine in my true nature. And Bhagavan Kashi Vishwanath himself is there, Vishnu Bhagavan is there, uh, Annapurna Mata is there, Vishalakshi Mata is there. So many beautiful sacred places are there in Kashi, and a great center of learning. And that bhav is what one has to revive. Otherwise, we go to Kashi, do Vishwanath Bhagwan's darshan, take a dip in Gangaji, and we come back. Maximum, what do we do? Some other Tirthasthans nearby we see. Go from there to Ayodhya, go to Prayagraj, all those are nearby. And have some food there. People explore. And Banarasi silk sari and whatever, chaat of Uttar Pradesh and what is that? Malayo and all that one wants to eat. See, all that one can do, but the main point is in Kashi, when we go, what is the Brahma Chintan we have done? Contemplation on the truth. If we find some scholars, Mahatmas, Sadhus, have satsang, suppose we don't know, we can't find, then we are learning Vedant. Go and sit there, do contemplation on the banks of Gangaji in front of Bhagavan Vishwanath. Because that is Avimukta Kshetra, that is a Moksha Puri. And the contemplation there will give much more impact, it will be much more intense and impactful. And so, this is one significance of Kashi. um, so, that linga is called Avimukteshwara Linga, actually. That's what Shiva Puran says, that Swayam Paramatma ने अविमुक्त लिंग की स्थापना की है. काशी में अविमुक्तेश्वर लिंग सदा विराजमान रहता है. Kashi destroys the sins, Mahapataka, a lot of sins anybody may have done, terrible sins one may have done, Brahmahatya one may have done, that Brahmahatya dosha one may get, all that, all those sins get destroyed, even of such terrible persons, the sins get removed. The idea is not that, okay, I can do all that and go and remove my sins. The idea is to understand the Kshetra Mahatmya, that a person can transform there. Even such a person who does not have, uh, even certain basic humanity, has done terrible sins. Even that person coming to Kashi, the prabhav of that place will be such that slowly that person will transform and become positive, become a sattvic person, and finally, eventually attain mukti also. Um, Here, one thing very powerful, Shiv Puran says that in other sacred places, one may get Sarupya Mukti, Salokya Mukti. So, if one goes to such other sacred places, one does Bhakti of Bhagavan, then one may go to the Loka of Bhagavan, that is called Salokya Mukti. So, one may go to Shiva Loka, Kailash, etc. Some may get Sarupya Mukti, they will look exactly like Bhagavan. Somebody may get Samipya Mukti, they are very close to Bhagavan in the same loka. They come very close to the Lord. But Kashi will give Sayujya Mukti. So that's what is said here. केवल काशी में ही जीवों को सायुज्य नामक सर्वोत्तम मुक्ति सुलभ होती है. Where if somebody has done such terrible sins that there is no Sadgati for that person anywhere, even such a person will find Sadgati in Kashi. And even devatas, etc., they wish that they are born on earth in Kashi and they drop the body in Kashi. Why? Because Bhagavan Shiva initiates the Jiva into the Taraka Mantra Ram, and that Jiva gets Mukti. See, the significance of this many times we don't understand. Sometimes it is not easy to find a guru when we are in a human form on this earth. Many times not possible, not easy to find a guru. And the guru, initiation from a guru is important if mukti has to happen. Even if mantra japa has to happen, initiation is required in the mantra. What to talk about Atmagyan? Atmagyan cannot come without guru. Kashi is a place where any jiva, not only human being, any jiva who drops the body there, Bhagawan initiates that jiva into the Ram mantra, and that jiva gets initiated, gets a certain level, whatever level of mukti the jiva is eligible for, one will get. And so Bhagavan Shiva is doing that. If you read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, when Ramakrishna went to Kashi, he has the vision that literally Shivji is there, and he passes on the Gangaji, he passes through the Manikarnika Ghat, Harichandra Ghat, and he sees that the jivas who have dropped their body and their body is being burnt there. Nitya Smashan it is. Continuously Chitta is getting burnt in Manikarnika. And so Ramakrishna literally sees, he writes there's a vision, I mean, Mahendranath ji, he has written in Gospel that Ramakrishna saw that Shiva is actually initiating the jiva. So he had that mystic vision there. So this is the beauty of Kashi, that even devatas want to take birth there. Remember one of the satsangs earlier I had said that we don't bring Ganga Jal back from Kashi because those jivas, then they lose the opportunity to get mukti. If they are in Kashi and they leave their body, Bhagavan will give them mukti. So Ganga Jal is not brought back from Kashi, is a belief. Out of compassion one does that. From anywhere else one can get Ganga Jal. So the Kshetra Mahatmyam, it is that. So most dear city to Bhagavan, and it will grant mukti, and it will also grant fulfillment of desires. If somebody has some desire, Bhagavan fulfills that also, because ultimately through that one has to become desireless. Suppressing desires, one will never become desireless. Now, Bhagavan Shiva, in his one of his forms, is called Kalagni Rudra. So Kalagni Rudra is the Lord who is most purest, is Sattva Gun Pradhan from within, but externally is the Lord in charge of destruction. And so, though he is Nirgun Nirakar, he appears in many different forms and also creates various ways by which the destruction of the Srishti happens. So that Kalagni Rudra manifests in a specific form. Kalagni Rudra has a form, and that form, when the Kalagni Rudra manifested, so it is said here that Kalagni Rudra invoked Shiva, Ishvara, who is Nirgun, who is unmanifest. Remember, non-dual Brahman using the power has become Shiva, the creator, Ishvara, and remaining unmanifest created Purusha Prakriti, Hari and his Prakriti. So to that Shiva, who is unmanifest, this Kalagni Rudra, he spoke. What did he pray? That I am you, you are me, there is no doubt, but oh Mahadev, you are the creator of the whole world. You are the ultimate creator, and with the desire for Loka Kalyan, we pray that you please be here only, and in Kashi, you stay here in Kashi, and you please liberate the jivas. So when he did this prarthana again and again, it is said here that he had tears in his eyes. Bhagavan was pleased, and so he said, uh, so he is actually glorifying. There's one whole uh, description given here of how he glorifies the Supreme Lord, that you are the one who destroys the disease of time, Kal Rupi Rog, Ke Sundar Aushad, Devadhidev Mahadev. You are such a great Lord who destroys. So time, change, and time also and change means the body, birth, growth, youth, old age, disease, all this change that the body goes through. He says, you are the one who destroys this false identification. You are the Lord of the three worlds. You are the creator of Brahma and Vishnu also. You are worshipped by them also. You have, please accept Kashi as your capital. See, Bhagavan is in the form of the linga that he already said. Abhimukta linga, he only is there in that form. This Kalagni Rudra is praying to Bhagavan Shiva that you please make Kashi as your capital. Um, and he prays that I will remain here. So Kalagni Rudra in his specific form as Kalagni Rudra also, he says, I will remain here and I will worship you constantly because you are the one who gives mukti and you fulfill all the desires. There is no one else. And so with Mother Uma, you please stay here and help the jivas to cross over the ocean of samsara and help the bhaktas to deepen in their bhakti, grant them mukti. So you please stay here. And hence it is said here that Bhagavan with Mother Uma stays in this Kashi. Mm. And so from that day onwards, Kashi is one of the is Sarvashreshta Puri. So different legends are given in some place. So first legend what we saw is where Bhagavan himself has told Vishnu Bhagavan that I am here and you also should not leave. That is one legend. Another legend is this. A Kalagni Rudra prays to Shiva as the unmanifest and supreme Ishvara that you along with Mother Uma, you please stay here and grant mukti to the jivas. There is one more legend from Skanda Puran that I will take up tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, 2 days we will learn, we will see more about the glory of Bhagavan Kashi Vishwanath. From the legends that we saw today, what we have to understand is one infinite truth alone is, and to know that is to shine in our true glory, and the purpose of Kashi is that. People think that they desire that I should go to Kashi and then I should die there, then I will get mukti. Yes, no doubt one will get a certain level of mukti, but Jivan Mukti is what Kashi is capable of blessing us with. Atmagnan is that which can destroy our ignorance and all our karmas, and that is the knowledge that one has to seek. So more than the death of the body, it is the death of the body identification that has to be attained. And Kashi can help us to do that. It will destroy papas, it will destroy our selfishness, our body identification, and then one shines in one's true glory. Then one realizes Shiva Tattva, that I am essentially of the nature of consciousness. So for today, we will stop here and do the meditation.